Hey guys, it's the Scranton MMA Show. This is Frank.
I'm Jess.
It's Tom.
And it's August 27th. I can't believe it's already the end of August.
Next week starts the NFL season.
Let's go Giants. Let's go.
So, anyway, we had self-defense for a cause this past weekend. Talking about Jenny's Closet. We got tons of food.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she said it'll make a big difference, so I'm happy that we could do that.
Yeah, thank you guys for donating. We really appreciate it. I know, go out to families in need and go to a good place.
Yeah, good local charity.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, is that we know where everything is going.
Yeah, that's why I like dealing with the local ones and
Yeah.
like Red Cross or something like
the
or-
Susan G.
yeah.
Komen, like that one is like a big
Yeah.
scam, pretty much.
I don't know if Red Cross is.
I don't know, to be
Don't yell
honest.
at me in the comments, but
Well, Red Cross will do local things, but to just like give,
Yeah, yeah.
like, you know, if you go to like some holding out a fire in like Ohio.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
some
they might need
there's
help,
some
but-
that it's like there's like 10% like actually goes or 1%
Oh yeah, you gotta look
actually
to a lot of those.
goes.
Yeah,
So
that's it. You gave food.
Yeah.
Food goes too. You
Yeah.
know, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, big thanks to everybody. Also, in new news, the striking test. Striking test is this Friday at 5:30 p.m. So Steve should have been, talking to students about the requirements, and you guys are probably already in the midst of preparing for that. So, Friday, 5:30.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think he posted the requirements.
I like
in the
that. It's
members
official.
group.
Good job, Steve
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I like that. List it all out. And then he's like, the last test is spar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like that. Like, by the way, you gotta learn A, B, C, and D, but
You gotta fight me.
then we're sparring. That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, good luck to everybody for that. Also, a lot of kids are going back to school today.
Blowing up my newsfeed.
Yeah.
Today and next week, right?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of them wait until after Labor Day, which is
Is Labor Day this
Yeah,
Monday?
this weekend.
Monday?
Yeah.
Monday.
We'll probably do an open mat.
Open mat,
Nice.
barbecue.
Barbecue at Tommy's house. Everybody's invited.
I was thinking about it.
Everybody's invited.
The entire school
If
and
you're-
anybody who sees
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna 1,000 people watch this video. You're invited.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
You know it's crazy.
Rachel, start prepping.
Yeah. I don't know how real it is, but someone put a picture of a gang mountain lion in South Avenue.
Oh, I saw that.
I don't know if that was. So I was reading the comments.
Yeah,
A lot of people
is
say
it?
bobcat.
That'd be the
saw more
longest
people
looking
say
bobcat I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. Bobcats are pretty big, though. I will say that. They're a lot
On my
bigger than
road,
what
I
you
saw
expect.
what I'm pretty sure is a bobcat, and it was tiny. And
Yeah.
all that made me think was like, where's mommy? Where's mommy
Yeah.
Oh,
bobcat?
man.
So people were saying bobcat because with mountain lions, their tail is just as long as their body.
That
So
face was as
you would
mountain
have to
lion
see it.
as
It looked like a lion.
It did look like a mountain lion.
It probably was photoshopped, or it's like, out in the west
Yeah.
somewhere. But you start thinking like, what's up, Sensei? You start thinking like, if I'm on a walk and a dang mountain lion jumps up in front of me, you're like,
What am I
Yeah.
Alright, so
What?
this is what you do.
Okay.
Don't quote me,
pray.
but
I'm
pretty sure-
he just ate someone else.
I'm pretty sure with mountain lions, they're ambush hunters, so you have to face them.
Like,
They are, but when they see a big goofy animal like this and no muscle mass, that's just like, how fast can you run, bro? Like, you don't have to ambush a human if you're a mountain lion. You could walk up and smack them
Yeah, but I
upside the
don't
head.
think that's how they think about it.
I don't know if they're hungry. That's what I'm saying. I hope they.
I hear
Eat
in
something
California they'll eat people jogging and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw that on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, you see that all the time, but like, my shoes.
yeah. There's some hot shoes.
They're the
Sensei
Air Force
Polito walked
Ones,
in.
SFs. SFs.
I got
They're
that shoe
nice.
game.
They're like this
Don't
tall.
even look at my shoes.
I got my chanclas on today. Can we see? Sandals. But I like to call them chanclas. Because there's this meme, or this vine, And it's this little girl. I might have told this story on the podcast before, but Frank hates when
No,
I talk
I hate
about-
the other line that you always said.
Okay, but anyway, this one, it's like this little girl, and she's wearing like little Crocs, like little pink Crocs, and her like brother or sister or something goes, "What are those?" And she goes, "Those are my chocolates!" And she's just really cute. I think it's funny. So
That one's funny. It's
I thought it was
the
like a
other-
designer I didn't know
No.
about or something like.
The other one,
It's the other one that
can't
drives me nuts.
I can't do it. I might laugh. He goes, "Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we could hang out or something."
She'll say that for like 2-3 hours straight.
Oh, it's
So I'm just
funny.
like, alright.
If I get something in my head, I can't get it out.
No,
I
it's
just
in my
say
head.
it over and over.
Songs from Frozen,
Yeah,
because it's like
I've never seen Frozen.
me
it's
neither.
awesome. It's about.
Is it?
I don't want to spoil it.
No
You haven't seen
spoilers.
it.
No spoilers.
Probably never watch it.
I think there's many life lessons to learn from Frozen if you
Really?
watch it.
I don't see. I don't
You gotta
like
control
stuff
the
like
power
that.
you have.
I think there's more than that.
There's a lot. Love. It's all about the love.
I like mindlessness. In
There's
my
that in there, too.
movies and TV.
I don't think that's what you meant though.
I saw Deadpool too.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like Frozen, right?
I haven't seen that.
Many lessons to learn in Deadpool 2 as well. Controlling the power,
Yeah.
love.
There is love.
Scheming and traitors,
In Deadpool.
deceit. No, I thought we were talking about Frozen still.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I don't know.
There wasn't much deceit in Deadpool too.
I
That
didn't
was-
see Deadpool 1, I didn't see Deadpool 2.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Deadpool 1 is good.
Yeah. I like 1 better than I like 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know a lot of people were, I think, talking more about 2, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed 1.
Me too.
What else do you guys have?
Back
So
to
we're- yep.
school, we were just talking about.
We got sidetracked. There's
Yeah.
a mountain lion.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm good my game. See what Liza's really got.
Oh, I don't think
I don't
Liza's
want that.
surviving.
I don't want that for Liza. But anyway, so back to school. Back to school is like January is at gyms for our like kids program. So
Oh.
and like the next month, 2 months, we'll probably have so many more kids trying out our like back to our kids program, anti-bullying, self-defense. But you know, however many kids we train, I think there's like tips we can give kids and parents that'll like help them. You know, so we always do like the 3 T's in our class and everything like that. I think if parents understand that, they can work with their kid
Yeah.
on that. Because the old school thing of like, you know, never tell, never rat, like, it's not really the most practical thing for a 7-year-old who's getting bullied.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna like eat that and keep that inside them for years. I think that's the worst thing about bullying is that it can go on and on and on, and there's like effects and consequences, and no one really might know about it. Like if you're just getting made fun of on the bus, or like I used to get made fun of for like the clothes I wear and the way I talked, and like I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell a teacher. Just every once in a while something would happen and I'd blow up and start like punching someone and grab their head and just freak out. And people are like, why'd you freak out? He just said you don't know how to say water. And I'm like, yeah, but for the last 4 months I was getting abused about everything else. So I think if parents can work with kids and say like, you know, first, like it's okay to tell me, but if something's happening, it is okay to tell a teacher, whoever, you know, bus driver, a coach, lunch. I was gonna say lunch monitor. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like whoever, like you know, an adult you trust, because they could stop it before it becomes something where your kids just becomes isolated, antisocial, like thinks everyone's gonna make fun of them for the way they talk or dress or whatever else people get much fun of. That was
So there's one thing that's always missed within like, you know, paying down bullying is everybody thinks it's this relationship, it's a parental relationship to their child. And one thing that you can always do is ask your children, you know, are your friends being bullied? Because they're more apt to see it and say something to their parent if it's not them than if it's just the kid that's being bullied.
Yeah. I definitely think if you have like some type of routine where you're like you know, I'm always asking Lucy, like, what'd you do in school? Like, what games do you play? But she's 3. You know, down the road, you can expand that to, like, you know, was anyone mean to you? Was anyone mean to your friends? You know, did the teacher have to do anything for someone being mean? You know, stuff like that. So that you can hopefully catch it the first time. But like Steve was saying, it's very unlikely a kid will admit, and that's the way they think, like they have to admit they're being bullied, like the first time. So a good thing I heard was like, you ask, you know, a kid like, hey, was anyone mean to you? And you're like, no. Like, all right, well, like I just wanted to talk, and you know, just remember we had this talk. And then like the next day or 2 days later, you're like, hey, remember we were talking about bullying in school? Like, I just want to ask you again in case, you know, you forgot about anything, but like, was anyone mean to you? Has anyone been mean to your friends? You know, I just want to make sure we're always talking about that. So your child will be used to this like pattern where they can open up and talk to you and not feel, you know, like a snitch, like weak,
I think that's the biggest
the male thing, I know for me growing up was like, don't be a snitch, don't rat. And it's like, that's so lame for a 7-year-old, you know, like why, you know, or I wasn't bullied bad till I was probably 12, 13-ish, something like that. And like, that's a messed up age a kid's going through and everything. But like, you know, if no one's asking, if no one's checking, and then like rechecking, you're never gonna know. And you know, that's when things can like either blow up or the opposite, where kids just become super antisocial. They don't want to play, they don't want to go to school. And so for parents, like those are some of the signs you can look for. Like obviously if your kid comes home with a black eye and it's like, oh, I tripped, maybe, you know, or if like their clothes are ripped, you know, but all these other signs, like they don't want to go to school for no reason. They don't want to do after school activities. They don't want to do, you know, like any other activities where kids might be like, go to the football game, go to the park. If they start worrying about doing things where kids are when they used to not, right? Like, so if your kid is just kind of shy, antisocial, you know, like just for whatever personality, like cool, you know, they got to do what they do. But if your kid used to like go to the park, go play football, go play soccer, and then 3 weeks into school, now they don't want to socialize, now they don't want to go to school, there's a good chance something happened, even if it's not bullying what you might think of, but like maybe they're getting picked on in school, maybe there's like cliques being formed in the lunchroom and they're not part of, like, yeah man, kids can be awesome and super kind.
The meanest human beings.
But man, because they don't understand the damage they could be doing that can last, like, you know, like we got, I won't mention names, but we got like a guy coming in to try this stuff, and he's like, I was bullied in school, it led right into bullying in the workplace, it made me never want to vocalize my opinion, it made me basically like take crap forever, so I think this will help. Like, oh yeah, this will help. And it's not like you gotta punch your boss or coworker, but it'll just change your mindset, the way you look at it.
Lets you decompress.
Yeah. You know, it just gives you different skills. So
it gives you more confidence, and it's cool to like be able to walk in a room and be like, I'm the toughest person in this room right now.
You know, but it's like,
no one can bother me.
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, parents, we have like videos out there on like the 3 T's. I don't think we have a lot of videos talking about like the warning signs of bullying. We should probably queue up some of those. They're really important for parents to like pay attention to changes that your child might be going through, especially when school starts. Because like, you know, if you're changing grades, changing schools, changing school districts, like the whole friend circle, you know, can be different. And I think it's just a good idea to keep an eye on. And at worst, all you do is start building a good way to communicate with your kid, and the sooner the better. So like, it might be bullying now when they're in like 4th or 5th grade, but then as they get to like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, like if you've never opened the door of communication and now you want to start talking about like sex and drugs, it's like, well, crap. Yeah. That's a big bridge to jump right into, you know. Yeah. So if you started just talking about like, hey, was anyone mean? Was anyone mean to your friends? You know, did anyone make fun of anybody. That's like a simple back and forth, and then that can progress somewhere like you have this line of communication that you can always go back and build on. So
there's like an arena. You should probably talk about this. I mean, I don't know if the show or something, but in the future, like especially on the heels of what just happened in Florida with the shooting at the gaming convention.
yeah,
Is like at some point in time address signs of online bullying, especially in the gaming community. I've played video games for many years, and it's bad.
yeah, like it's you're not able to monitor your certain like interactions with that your kid is having, and then like
But that can also go to the people that they're gaming with, or probably their friends that they go to school with.
yeah.
So there's just things that you should probably take a look at.
Yeah, so we'll get into like online gaming, other signs, but I think another benefit of like the communication is it'll be easier to pick up on like the warning signs or just changes that your kid goes through. And sometimes like, you know, maybe they're like, they become less social or more social for different reasons, but then you can figure that out versus if it's bullying, you know, like I really don't think anyone thought I was being bullied until I got into like a big fight. And then after the fight, everyone probably thought like, oh, all right, it'll calm down. And then there was another fight.
Yeah.
And then finally people are like, well, wait a minute. How come this kid that just moved to this school district is getting into all these fights? It's like, it's not like I got into a fight every time someone said anything. It was when like, you know, I was young and couldn't control myself, so I would like erupt and have a fight versus like, if no one really realized that it was like a constant ongoing thing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I think I was lucky in a way how I dealt with it. It sounds messed up, but like I fought it versus like there's so many other ways you can deal with it, you know. So yeah, I got punched in the face, I might have got bloody lips or whatever, you know, I got suspended, but it didn't like drastically alter who I was. And then there was enough going on for like my parents and teachers to like be like, yo, something's got to change.
Yeah.
And like for me, Tang Sudo, that's right, jump kicking people. But then it changed like that.
Yeah.
Once you're like, oh, wait a minute.
But then that like calms you down. Like sometimes we get the trolls online that are like, oh, you guys promote violence.
Yep,
It's
that's
like,
exactly what we're doing.
realize that we're not like teaching people how to fight.
Do it here, fight here,
Yeah.
fight at tournaments. and
We're
you'll
like teaching
never
an art.
have the urge to fight on the street.
Yeah, but it also teaches you this like mental discipline where you like have this like weapon in your back pocket, and you almost, it's like carrying a gun. Like if you're carrying a gun, you have to be careful about like who
Can't shoot everyone who just cuts you
Yeah.
off or takes a parking spot.
Exactly,
you know?
and like martial arts isn't a gun, but martial arts is like another, you know, thing that you have in your pocket that you know, like, okay, like I really could mess this person up. Like let me just take a step back and like try to calm down.
Yeah, so people who don't train, you might not get that, but the way that's built primarily is when you train with people that are worse than you, right? When you train with someone who's not as experienced or not as good, there's like a responsibility on you to help them. And sometimes that's just tap them, pass their guard, tap them, pass their guard, tap them. But other times you have to like educate them, tell them what they're doing wrong. But also sometimes you do have to hold back what you do.
Yeah.
So like Frank against me isn't just dropping into like leg locks and heel hooks, and because he knows I don't have any idea what's going on and something will get hurt. So like, but you know, when he's going with like better people, I'm sure like there's more leg locks, ankle locks, and it's much faster because the person he's going with is ready to handle that.
Yeah.
Where if he did it to me, I'd just be like limping around all the time, you know. And like, so when I go with like say Vito, it's like everything's on the table,
Yeah.
just go for it, you know. But if I'm going with like last week, I had somebody up in the air, suplex city, I put him right back down.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the 3-1.
Yeah.
You know, that's the 3-1. So you're able to realize even in these like intense moments, Frank could rip my knee apart like that, but he doesn't. It's like, whatever, no
Yeah.
big deal. It's just Tom. What's the even point of ripping Tom's knee apart? But it's like, you know, maybe against other brown belts and stuff, he's like, I'm gonna at least go for it.
Yeah.
You know, so it lets you dictate what you do in like extremely stressful situations. And I think that's awesome. So like, as soon as I got into karate, when someone's making fun of me, I'm like, this isn't even a thing. Like, this isn't even important. I don't have to bash this guy's head into a locker. Like, it's no big deal. And it lets you walk away. 2 weeks before that, it was like, this guy's attacking my whole existence.
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, in it, if I did walk away, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, everyone hates me, no one likes me, everyone's making fun of me, my whole life's gonna be like this. When then after martial arts, you're like, that's just dumb. Like,
Yeah.
what do I even care? So, martial arts is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Really, it's a great way to, it completely flips the switch on how you're able to handle almost any situation. Because you're dealing with combat, self-defense, fighting, whatever you want to call it. And then that's almost as stressful a situation as like a human can go through. Like, you're fighting.
Yeah.
So like, the way you're able to change how you handle that situation, then everything else, whether it's going back to school, do I sit at this lunch table, do I sit in the back of the bus, do I ask this person if I can sit with them, do I sit next to this girl that I like in class, like whatever it is, it just becomes easier to do, which is why like, I don't think I'll ever quit, and I hope like thousands and thousands of more people get into this stuff.
Millions.
Billions.
I love martial arts, go figure. Helped me so much. I don't want to get too emotional. It's crazy though. I think of like, what if I did it? Like, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Everyone has like a transformation story kind of from martial arts.
That's pretty
Whether
crazy.
it's like a physical transformation or emotional or mental, whatever, like I think everyone can say that after training for a while that they're different in some way. Not just like, oh, I know how to do arm bars now. It's like, oh, I'm more confident, or I like look better, or
I lost 1 million pounds.
It's crazy if you think of like mini little snapshots, like the change at like 0 to 1 year, and then like at the 5-year mark,
Yeah.
the 10-year mark. I'm now into like the 20-year mark, which is like crazy. But like you don't think or realize that as these changes are happening, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is so much different. Like, it's rare that people train for like 10 years and are less happy
yeah,
with their life. It's just really true. Like, you do something like this 5-10 years, and if you look back, you're like, wow. Like, you don't want to just be like, I'm a better person, and you don't want to get too hokey about it, but it's the quickest way to say it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm less stressed, I'm healthier, I'm in better shape, I have more energy, I have more confidence. Like, that just means you're happier, a better person. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy what training can do. It really is. It's like if we sold this as a drug, like a prescription, the FDA would be like, no effing way. You're completely lying. There's no way this little pill called martial arts can make you lose weight, gain muscle, be happier, cure depression, cure anxiety, all this stuff, make you kinder. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's it. Go back to the trials. It's like, all right. But meanwhile, we have like hundreds of people, schools across the nation have hundreds and hundreds of people that are on that martial arts pill.
Yeah.
Loving it.
it's crazy. It's cool to see people like they start and they're just like they get addicted.
And think of some of the kids, like, I don't want to mention kids' names without permission or anything, but like, if you think of some of our most experienced kids, what they looked like when they started, I mean what they looked like. Not how they, like, just, like, and now they're like, again, you don't want to say better, but they're way different, and most parents, and all the parents, said like, in better ways, in good ways, the changes they go through.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pumped up.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
I think that's all the time I have.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff for the next one then.
Yeah, we do. I'll write that in for next week.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, if there's topics you want covered, please keep sending them in. Any ideas or things like that. Question. Parents specifically, if you want any educational, like, either resources or things for us to go over or share with you, like, please let us know. Good luck with the back to school season.
Yeah.
Boo to bullies. Don't be a bully. Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I beat Earthbound for Super Nintendo.
Did you say that already?
No.
No? Okay, well now everyone knows.